Why spend $100,000 on a cybersecurity degree when employers care more about these three things? Number one, can you analyze real security events? Number two, do you understand fundamental concepts? And number three, can you demonstrate practical skills? In this video, I'm going to show you how to prove all three without stepping foot in a classroom. Most cybersecurity training programs are setting you up to fail, and that's because they focus on theory and not exactly what recruiters and hiring managers are actually looking for. And this is why many candidates feel caught off guard when it matters most, and that is the interview, if they're lucky enough to even get one. After reviewing thousands of entry-level job postings in the industry and reading different knowledge articles, I kept seeing the same 5 practical skills show up again and again. These are the skills and abilities that hiring managers are looking for that separate someone with real potential from just another resume. And here's the good news. You can start by proving these skills within 30 days if you just follow a very strategic plan. Since hiring managers prioritize hands-on skills and certifications over degrees, mastering these skills will do more for your career than a diploma ever could. So let's break down what those 5 skills are and why they make or break you in interviews. Here are the 5 skills that employers actually look for. Certifications like the CompTIA Security Plus certifications can help, but recruiters are increasingly looking for demonstrated ability. If you can't show these 5 skills in an interview, you'll be at a competitive disadvantage, resulting in disqualification. The gap is simple. Most training programs lean on theory, but what hiring managers want you to show is how you can provide practical solutions to real-world problems. The first skill is the ability to analyze raw security logs. Technical screens and interviews often include a practical exercise or scenario like log analysis or incident drills because employers want to know that you have the ability to differentiate an anomaly from legitimate expected behavior on the network. You can practice log analysis from using platforms like TryHackMe or setting up a community SIM, where many labs and platforms allow you to access realistic log data and alert scenarios. The second is the incident response workflow and playbook development. Now, this is arguably one of the most important because within cybersecurity, you have to have the ability to follow a workflow, and every company's environment is going to be slightly different. However, possessing the skill of being able to create runbooks and follow runbooks holds its weight in gold. So you need to be able to verify the alert, collect the evidence, contain the threat, and document those actions in a report. If you can use different mentorship, peer groups, or guided labs and observe how real SOCs operate. This is the type of mentorship that is one of the fastest ways to understand incident handling in action. Make sure you know how to create and follow a runbook. Third is the ability to implement what we call bluff, or the bottom line up front, and that is to explain complex security concepts in human readable language. This is a skill that is going to be invaluable because a lot of times cybersecurity professionals are speaking to non-technical people like stakeholders, managers, or senior vice presidents. And so you need to be able to take that technical language and be able to deliver it in a human readable way where you're giving the bottom line up front. Not everybody that you're going to be speaking to is going to be a technical person. So being able to translate that complexity in your soft skills is invaluable. Now, fourth is the use of threat detection and use case development. Now, initially, you may feel like this comes off more like an engineering responsibility. However, it's not. Every analyst should be able to understand why an alert is triggering at the core. Not just be able to work the alert, but understand the logic of the rule that was met based on a particular set of criteria based on a threshold. All right. So the ideology is, listen, pick a known attack like a credential dumping or harvesting attack. Reference the MITRE ATT&CK framework so you understand the tactics, techniques, and procedures, and make sure you understand the mapping and correlation between the alert logic and the actual tactic and technique. That is going to give you an invaluable skill set and make you stand out from the crowd, because it's not enough to just be able to respond to an alert. You need to understand why the alert is triggering in the first place. So that basic threat detection and use case development skill set is going to come in handy. Now, last but not least, skill number 5, and that is the ability to document your findings in a report. Reporting is one of the most invaluable skills that you can have in cybersecurity because you're going to need to capture all of the evidence, observables, and artifacts in a beautifully well-written report, which is going to be included in the weekly and monthly metrics that get provided to senior leadership. So reporting is critical. This not only builds your reporting skills, but it doubles as a starting point for creating a professional portfolio. Once you know what employers are looking for, the next challenge is being able to prove that you possess the everyday solutions to their everyday problems, even without formal job experience. That's where building practical demonstrations of your skills becomes critical. If you don't have the experience, create the experience. You don't need a job title to gain experience in cybersecurity. You just need evidence that you actually have built and acquired these skills. And building a portfolio is one of the most practical ways to show employers that you can handle real security work, right? Even if that means you've only done work in a home lab or project-based. One of the best things you can do is the ability to optimize the work that you've done. Whether it's in a home lab, try Hack Me, Hack the Box, you need to be creative. You need to take and apply a professional work product and workflow to your home project. That's going to give you the opportunity to articulate what you've done and how it translates to what? A corporate setting. So make sure that all of the work that you're doing, whether it's in a project, whether it's on a free tool, make sure you take that real approach and apply that to your work. Remember when we talked about the bluff principle and concept? Bottom line up front. You have to take that same strategy and approach to everything that you're doing. This is where we turn casual experience to professional looking demonstration of your abilities. Now, another thing you could do is optimize your volunteer work. Now, I want to say this, not all volunteer work is created equal. You need to be able to take the work that you've done, whether it's for a nonprofit community organization or a small or medium-sized business, and be able to package it up as if it was a real consulting gig, right? This is where you're going to take, let's say, a project that you did volunteering at a community center and dress it up as if you were one of the people that was contracting that project, right? Think of the volunteer work at that organization as they were a client of yours and treat it accordingly, right? I want you to not just treat it as a side project because this is real consulting experience when framed and documented correctly. Now, all you're going to do is position this experience on your resume like so. You were a security consultant at XYZ organization during this time period. And then you're going to curate a bunch of bullet points that highlight your success, accomplishments, and cultivate your impact that's going to identify with the job description in which that you're applying. This is how you transform subpar volunteer work to real impactful professional experience. Let's just say you provided threat intel advisory services and cybersecurity awareness and education workshops to the staff and students in order to increase the cybersecurity hygiene within the community. This shows real proof of impact with real tooling and exactly what hiring managers and recruiters are looking for. One of the most powerful strategies I recommend to all my students is for them to incorporate themselves. You can set up a single member or dual member LLC for under $250 and provide complimentary cybersecurity services to organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. There's over 5,000 in the US and one in every single state. By doing so, you create and build a credible client list Rolodex and book of business where you can gain references and collect measurable wins, all while giving back to your community. It's an authentic way to stand out from the competition and demonstrate initiative, technical skill, and professionalism. Another thing is contributing to open source projects, which can also add further credibility. All you need to do is pick a project like MISP or whatever you choose to pursue and do whatever you can to start improving it, whether it be the source code, identifying bugs, identifying patches to those vulnerabilities. Do whatever you can and capture that, post it on GitHub, because that's what recruiters and hiring managers are going to be looking for to know that you're an active contributor and authority. Another thing you can do is publish technical reports on different current events. This is where you can rely on different media, news articles, and different threat vendor research groups and be able to give your own take and own spin on what's happening. This is also going to allow you to come off as an authority, and it shows that you take initiative to stay up to date what's going on in cyberspace. In this field, it doesn't take long for you to become a dinosaur, so staying on top of what happens is really a valuable skill. Another thing you can do for a high ROI to increase engagement and visibility is to record a 3 to 5 minute walkthrough of yourself solving a challenge or going through a report or summarizing an incident. And this is where you're going to be able to collect video evidence, which adds another layer of proof that you can actually do the work. I want you guys to follow what we call the ABC model. A is beginner, B is contributor, and C is authority. As we all know, when you start something for the first time, you typically start out new and as a beginner. Then it's your job and responsibility to quickly transition into a contributor and maintain that position for as long as possible, ultimately allowing you to transform into an authority. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, engaged, and constantly adding value. That's how transformation and evolution occurs. Now, after you apply this approach, I want you to apply all of this on your LinkedIn and on your resume underneath your skills and professional experience section so that people know what you're actually doing. One of the worst things you can do is actually do the work and not articulate it correctly so people don't know you exist. Now, done right, this section of your resume and LinkedIn are actually going to stand out more than just a job title and position you for the next step, which is choosing the right certifications that actually get you noticed. Now, not all certifications are made equal, so we want to focus on the certifications that are actually going to help you get interviews. Now, choosing the right certification early on can make a huge difference. Many beginners waste a lot of money on certifications that look impressive on paper, but don't match to what hiring managers are actually looking for. So you want to focus on the credentials that employers recognize to confirm that you operate in an environment that they live in. The CompTIA Security Plus is one of the core 4 certifications that is widely recognized by recruiters and employers. Now, that cert is an entry-level baseline for many roles, but what makes it especially valuable is that the ATS applicant tracking systems are set up to flag it. So simply holding that certification can help get your resume seen. It also includes a performance section, which is not just based on multiple choice, but actually based on scenarios where you actively have to know what to do in those circumstances. This certification, complementing real SOC experience, becomes more than just a checkbox credential. It becomes strong evidence that you have both the certification and the hands-on proof. Another respected option is the GIAC Security Essential Certifications, or GSEC. Unlike many knowledge-only exams, this assessment uses GIAC's CyberLive platform to test candidates in simulated environments, which means more than just memorizing a bunch of definitions or acronyms. Now you're proving that you can navigate real-world challenges and provide technical solutions. For employers, this is an immediate sign that you've already done the work and you've handled real-life problems that you would see on the job. Another option is the ISACA Cybersecurity Fundamentals Certificate. This certification is designed for people at the start of their career path and teaches foundational rudimentary principles in a structured way. Employers recognize this credential as a serious introduction to the field and can serve as a stepping stone credential and building block for your career path moving forward. Now, cost is definitely a serious factor, but you rarely need to pay the full sticker price. Academic programs, military service training providers often offer discounts or scholarships to get certifications, and vendors run periodic promotions that can also help you save money. Now, the bigger picture here to understand is that certifications do not replace experience. Certifications are a great skill building tool, and they're used to complement and aid experience so that employers know that you understand these concepts and you actually have the skills and you will perform. But no certification is an accurate reflection of skill set or ability. So just remember that. Understanding how to choose the right certifications are going to help you align with what employers' demands are. But here's the catch. Even strong candidates can struggle to get noticed, and what it all comes down to in the hiring process is the individual's work history and their ability to brand themselves online. Here's the simple truth. You don't need a degree or traditional experience to get started in cybersecurity. All you need is to possess the skills so you identify with the role, which is a job description sitting on a recruiter's desk. Now you have the 5 core fundamental skills so you can turn your home lab into real documented projects and pair that with real certifications employers actually recognize. You guys need to know the demand is high and there's far more roles than people able to fill them. So that's opportunity at its finest, which is why this all attributes to a 0% unemployment rate in cyberspace. So if you're finally ready to start getting real SOC experience and recruiter-ready proof on your resume so you can feel confident stepping into these interviews, all while avoiding wasted months, cert stacking, spending tons of money, and getting ghosted by hiring managers and recruiters, make sure that you hit the link and the pinned comment in the description, and we'll see you guys on the other side.